Hello again. Welcome to CropLife Retail Week. It's Paul Schrimpf here with Eric Sfiligoj, back in our usual seats after vacation / business trip / other travel that we've had to do last couple of weeks. A couple of items of big news this week. I think the biggest was the news that Land O'Lakes and United Suppliers are getting together, and I had a chance to digest a few things and run a few things by some of my contacts out in the marketplace, and just a few thoughts on that from our perspective that we'll be watching. The seed and crop protection business are primarily what they're merging at this point. That's going to be the focus. They mentioned in a release that fertilizer would be down the road. That's driven by the fact that Land O'Lakes has a non-compete on the fertilizer market through October of 2017. So it'll kind of be a lumbering deal. Things will happen kind of gradually, and it'll be interesting to see how that all comes together. But that's a little bit of the timing, I think, at this point right now. In general, it's a good matchup. I mean, United Suppliers doesn't have seed business right now, and of course, Land O'Lakes has Cropline genetics, which makes that a good thing. And then Precision Ag, well, United Suppliers has some elements of Precision Ag and has done research. You've obviously got with the answer plots a significant base of Precision Ag technology on that side of the house. So getting those two together will certainly provide benefits. There's discussion that there'll be a substantial savings in terms of buying power of the merged companies. So that's something that certainly was a benefit and a key driver to why things are happening. United Suppliers, of course, is independent, but also is unique in that it provides dividends to members that buy in. Now, it's not a cooperative from the sense that cooperative membership like a cooperative is, but anyone who does business with United Suppliers is eligible for those benefits. How these two companies will come together is still anybody's guess, but it's interesting in that they have a similar culture in having given those dividends, but what ultimately comes from that business-wise will be interesting to watch. There's really not many more big mergers to happen. This is fairly substantial, but when you look at it, this could be one of the bigger ones that we'll see even in the near term. You look at something like Pinnacle, who's acquired a lot of smaller organizations, a few larger ones, but they've been very aggressive, and that's kind of where they've come out is getting some of these smaller retailers, and has been a longer slog. So this is a pretty substantial acquisition. There's a lot of moving parts to it. Certainly, we'd be watching what goes on with that over the next couple of years. So that's from my end. Eric, I know you have something you want to talk about as well.
Sure, thanks, Paul. Yeah, I know the last couple of weeks we've been talking a little bit about what's been going on out in the field in terms of what's gotten into the ground in terms of corn and soybean. And earlier this week, the USDA put out its report, which talked about how much acreage was going to be going to corn versus soybean in the marketplace in 2015. And based on those numbers, corn's going to be at just under 89 million acres, which is down slightly from 2014. And it looks like soybean's going to be over 85 million acres, which is kind of interesting, Paul. I know in my 15 years of covering the marketplace, I don't think I remember those numbers being ever so close as that in terms of total acreage. But one caveat to that is we've had a lot of rain here in Ohio, and I know across a lot of the Midwest, and the report also mentioned that at this point, which is beginning of July, the soybean planting in Missouri is off by about 30%. 30% still yet to go into the ground. About 14% in Kansas waiting to go into the ground. And there's plenty of speculation also that some growers will have to cash in on crop insurance. And I know in particular it was mentioned in the report that in Indiana it looks like losses for corn plantings, not soybean, but for corn, could top about $475 million this year. So we'll have to keep an eye on this going forward, Paul, because obviously bad news for the growers with crop not getting into the ground, but for those folks that could get it into the ground, the crop prices come the end of the year may be up more than people were expecting.
Well, it's interesting. Well, big challenges, big news in retail this week, and we appreciate you joining us. See you again next week on Retail Week. Thank you.